All right, everybody, welcome to Star Wars Talk. Um, I'm debating on how to do this one today because really I want to discuss the possible deaths, and this will be the final chance to do it before the movie comes out and we get spoilers that will hit the internet. I'm really debating on shutting down Star Wars Talk until after I see The Force Awakens, only because I am afraid that as I go out there and look for subjects to um, to to talk about, I'm going to find spoilers. I'm particularly concerned about that with what's going on in just here recently, where we had a Star Wars fan site. Okay, now bear in mind this is a fan site that leaked an image of a toy, which basically was not supposed to be put out, um, and basically ruined a good portion of the plot for me, which didn't really ruin it for me because I kind of had figured that part of it out, but it just these kinds of things are coming out more and more. And so I'm at the point now to where I think I don't want to be spoiled. And so I have to kind of step back and stay away from it. Stay away from it a little bit. You know, at this point I will be seeing this movie in a little over 3 days. So what I don't want to do is have come this far and not spoiled myself to get killed here on the last minute. Um, so yeah, so I think this may be the last Star Wars talk until after I see The Force Awakens on Thursday. So I'm just putting that out there for everybody to be aware of, and we'll see what happens. But it may well be the last Star Wars talk until after I see The Force Awakens. So with that in mind, let's get into today's talk, which is my final call. Now, I've had a chance to see all of the promotional materials I can think of up until this point. Today, the movie will be seen, and spoilers will be out there. I ask people who watch the video, please don't comment if you read the spoilers and comment any spoilers into the comments. Please don't ruin the movie for anybody. I will respond to my call, you know, how I got these, you know, whether they're right or wrong, in a couple of days once I see the movie. So let's look at this. So starting off with the one that we already talked about. So Han Solo. Han Solo, as I said, I think will die. I think we'll lose Han in this movie. We talked about that in a previous Star Wars talk. I don't want to get too in depth into it because I discussed it already there. I don't think Harrison wanted to come back for another trilogy. I think Han is getting up in age to where he's lived a good long life. You know, he's 70 some odd years old. He looks 70 some odd years old. Um, yeah, let's let Han go out in a blaze of glory, and I think he will. So then let's talk about his mate, Leia. I think there's zero chance Leia dies in this movie. Zero chance Leia dies. So Leia, I think, will make it out. I don't think that she's out in the front lines very often, and so I don't think you'll see her exposed to a point to where she could be killed, at least this early on in the series. Later on, maybe something changes, but for now, I don't think so. So let's continue with the old cast first and start with and go into Luke. Luke, I think we already know he's signed on for the next movie. I think there's zero chance Luke dies in this movie. So I think we'll see Luke again in the next movie. I think that Skywalker has a lot to play in the next movie. Now, whether or not he makes it out of the next movie or not is a different story, but I think he'll be in the next movie. So R2D2 C3PO, I think both will make it out. Obviously, one's with Luke, one's with Leia. They'll make it out. So each one of them will make it out together, I think. If we're talking droids, I'll talk BB-8. I think BB-8 is the new R2-D2 for this series, and so I think zero chance BB-8 gets destroyed in this. So then I think that's everybody that's from the old trilogy. Trying to think. Akbar. I mean, I guess we could talk Akbar. I don't know if I want to get into the minor characters. I could be here all day. But I'll do Akbar just because I know he's in it. I think again Akbar's with Leia. I think zero chance Leia dies. I think zero chance Akbar dies too. So Akbar will make it out. I think. All right, let's get into our new cast. So for starters, let's talk Daisy Ridley. She is the new Luke of this series. I don't think Daisy dies at all in any of the movies. But definitely not in this one. So you will see Daisy again in the next movie. I think that's all but confirmed. John Boyega. So Rey, Daisy, John Boyega, Finn. I'm having a rough time with this one because part of me, I think Boyega has been partially confirmed to already be in the next one. But I don't know if that could be a flashback. I mean, I know they don't do flashbacks in Star Wars, but that doesn't mean that doesn't change after this movie. It also doesn't mean that I don't know. I mean, there's ways he could be in the movie, I guess, without being alive. I think he'll be injured. I really do think he'll be seriously injured. I think he gets out though, so I think we'll see him in the next movie as well. So Finn, I think, makes it through. Poe, Oscar Isaac. I think Poe makes it into the next movie as well. I think BB-8's with Poe in the last battle, if I remember correctly from the footage. And I told you BB-8's not going anywhere, so I anticipate him being in it easily. So then the next would be Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren, I think, will make it out. I don't think they're going to make the mistake of doing like they did with Darth Maul and killing him off too early. Snoke, I think, makes it. Captain Phasma, I would have said earlier, gets killed off, but based on what I'm hearing, she's going to be in the next movie, so I think she makes it. Which leaves General Hux, I think, is the only baddie that's going to die in this one. So General Hux, I think, will be the only bad guy that's going to die. And I think, Maz Kanata, I think, lives. So, all right, I think I covered everybody there. I think that's a pretty good solid guess of what I think is going to happen. When we talk about how I think people are going to die, Han will die saving who I believe personally, and again, this is my personal opinion. Han will die saving who I personally believe is his daughter, Rey. I think he's going after her with Finn, and I think that Han will die saving Rey. I think General Hux will die when they take out Starkiller Base, because I think Starkiller Base will be destroyed at the end of this movie. I think General Hux will be on board, and he will die with Starkiller Base. He'll go down with it. And I think everybody else I had living. So I think those are the two big deaths. I think, we'll lose Han with that, and then we'll lose General Hux basically through the destruction of Starkiller Base. So that's pretty much as far as I go. I could venture a guess at the plot, but I really think I have most of it figured out, with the exception of just final little details. And I really think that if I go all the way out on a limb here, I think I could probably get through most of the movie, and I'll probably have most of it down, I think, at this point. But I could be way off. I don't know. So I don't want to mess with it just in case. I don't want to put that out there. But I think that my deaths are going to be pretty spot on. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's always possible that they surprise us. I think and again, I don't think this is going to be the only deaths in the movie. I think you're going to have other deaths. I think they're going to be people that are not central to the cast that are going to die. But I think I don't think that many of the main cast is going to die in this film. So, but we'll see. Like I said, I could be way off. Who knows? Maybe they wipe out half the cast. You know, my only other concern and my fear for Kylo is that Benicio del Toro has been cast to be the new villain in Episode 8. And so that is kind of concerning. I really do. Kylo is one that I worry about. I think we might lose him in this one. I said earlier that I think he'll make it. I don't think JJ will make the mistake like they did with Darth Maul. But the casting of Benicio del Toro is the one thing that has me worried about Kylo. But I do think in the end that is too cool of a character for them to kill off in this first movie. But again, we'll see what happens. So, all right, guys. Well, please listen, like, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to put your death guesses at the bottom. Today is premiere day. It is the last day that we have people. I mean, well, we've had people in the world that have already seen the movie, but not very many. So today is the last day that I think we'll be able to safely navigate the internet and not worry about spoilers, which is kind of what I said at the beginning. I'm concerned about continuing to do this talk because there are a lot of people out there that are going to see this movie and go spouting off at the mouth, and only media that was invited to the screening. And I want to make sure everybody understands this, because I have a feeling people don't understand what's going on here. So there are a bunch of media that's invited to the screening. Those people are embargoed. They're prohibited from discussing the movie until the 16th. So on the 16th is when you'll start getting reviews. Now, I had said Tuesday, but it looks like they even got them to push it till the 16th. So the day before the movie comes out, they can start putting reviews online. So come Tuesday morning, or come Wednesday morning, you'll start seeing the first reviews hitting. So just bear that in mind, okay? But that is only, and I cannot stress this enough, that is only for media that was invited to the screening. So the fans that are coming to the screening can talk to whoever they want about the movie. They are not prohibited from talking about it at all. So like the fans that come to the movie can discuss it as they will. Now they're going to ask people, please don't talk about it. But I guarantee damn well to you that they did not get out 400, 500 copies of non-disclosure agreements for every single person that sees the movie today that's going to prohibit them from talking about it. Now, I may be wrong. As far as I know, I've not seen any news that they're making everybody who comes to the movie sign non-disclosure agreements. So I would anticipate that fans are going to talk. They're going to talk to other media outlets that did not get invites to the premiere, and then it's game over. It's game over from that point because those media outlets didn't sign anything. They're not prohibited from posting anything. They can talk about it all they want. Any media outlet that did not come in and did not take credentials from Disney, it's open season on them, and they can print whatever they want. So, as long as they've got a good source, they can print it. So just please bear that in mind. Understand that just because the media is prohibited, the media invited is prohibited from discussing it, does not mean that other media sources that didn't get invited aren't. And then you have people like Yahoo, and MSN and Fox and all these big outlets that can link to those sources without actually directly spoiling it themselves. So, just keep your head down, guys. I mean, if you really don't want to be spoiled, keep your head down. If you do, it sounds like by the end of the evening, 10, 11 o'clock at night, you'll have the opportunity to know everything that happens in The Force Awakens. And if you're one of those people that just wants to know, I'm sure that the information will be out there. Now, it's going to be a tough road to navigate because not only do you have to figure out, do you want to watch this movie? Not only do you have to figure out, do you want to watch this movie spoiled, unspoiled, but you have to figure out how much is worth knowing, or how much media information is worth knowing. How many reviews do you want to read? If you're like me, if you're curious, that's a tough road to navigate because I'm curious to see what other people are saying about it. I'm curious to see, am I going to be blown away the way I think I'm going to be blown away? And really, the headlines will tell me, I think. So I don't think I'm going to have to open up any of the stories, but I think the headlines are going to tell me whether or not the movie is looking good. I think I may be able to glance at the tomato meter at Rotten Tomatoes, and if I'm seeing high 80s, 90%, high 80s, low 90s, high 90% ratings, I think I'm going to be blown away by how good the movie is. But if I start seeing 40, 50%, then yeah, we'll be worrying. I'll be worrying, to say the least. I will tell you this, based on what Disney has done, they've not offered any free screenings to the press. They have not really kissed the press butt on this one at all. And typically, Star Wars has been good at that. Like, you can see there's some really good reviews out there for some of the prequels that you can tell were just kind of bought by Disney. They're not legitimately good reviews of the movies because if you read them, you can tell how just bad they are. So we have some legitimate issues where we've seen that these movies have gotten in the past bought by Lucasfilm. In this case, they did not go that route. They went the opposite route. So now, essentially, they are just counting on the movie being good, and them getting good reviews. Because if it's not good, and I cannot stress this enough, if that movie is not good, they will be eviscerated by the media. They will eat them alive. So, it's good and bad. It's good and bad. So hopefully they did it. We'll see. It's finally time to find out, right? It's finally time to own up and see what JJ has really done. I have nothing but high hopes for this movie, and I will be crushed if it's wrong. And I know that for some people they've been pessimistic about it, and it's worked for them, but not for me. I'm going to continue to be optimistic. I think it's going to be great. I have nothing but high hopes for this movie. So anyway, guys, please please subscribe. Come on back to Star Wars Talk. If you don't see any more up for the rest of this week, chances are I have decided to stay away from the media and not be spoiled. But we'll see what happens. All right, guys, take it easy. Bye.